Hey, this is Natalie again from the Freedom Coach podcast, and this is episode number 15. Last time I talked about how to move from invisible to power by being of service, adding value, finding out what people in your community need or whatever new venture you're starting, and give it to them and see that you can provide solutions for people that are in your community so you can be of help. You can be helpful, you can be valuable, and they start noticing you so you're not invisible anymore. And the next thing that happened was very interesting. So I was coaching and I collected my first experience as a coach and found out what works, what doesn't. One of the things I found out that works that I've been doing all my life in the corporate world was giving them a structure, giving them a clear outcome, giving them some goals, hold them accountable for it, and most of all, help them create a plan and see the clear vision of where they're going and help them achieve that. And as I was coaching, I noticed that one of the things we were coaching on mindset. And it was also business and online marketing. And one of the things I noticed that one of the big reasons why people didn't succeed wasn't because they weren't smart enough or they didn't have enough knowledge or they didn't have enough strategies and tools. It was because they were their biggest enemy. And they were standing in their own way. And they were not doing stuff because of a lack of discipline, procrastination, and that had other various deeper laying levels of reasons. And as I was also working with Blair Singer at the same time, and he's, for those of you that know him or look him up, he's very big on managing and mastering your inner dialogue, or little voice as he calls it. And I started doing a coaching program with one of his coaches called Little Voice Mastery, and it had a big impact on my life and my business because all of a sudden I had removed blocks that I didn't even know existed. And what my thought was back then was, why don't I combine the insights and knowledge and teachings of one coach with another? Because remember, I had just started coaching. It was my first couple of months, and yes, I had some business experience, 20 years, but I didn't have any coaching experience, and I was very insecure if I could create my own stuff or I could teach somebody else's stuff, and that was more viable option for me at that time. And I started thinking about creating a combination of the material of Blair and Alex. And I approached both of them and I said, what are your thoughts on this? Why don't we combine this? Because I think what one is missing, the other one has. And that's when the Master of Business Online was born. I created a program that was the combination of the two knowledges, the two skill sets, the Little Voice Mastery, the inner game piece of Blair Singer, and the outer game piece of Alex Mondosian with his online marketing strategies. And what happened then was very, very interesting because I just put up one post one morning when I was sitting in my favorite chair, and I thought, how could I market this? And an inspirational thought came to my mind, and I put it down, I put it out there, and it was a tremendous, tremendous response. So it sounded something like looking for coaches who want to work with Blair and Alex and a combination of the two and create a business online or something like that. And it was really powerful because I got a lot of responses and I got a lot of people who were interested in it. And it wasn't because of me, it was because of the two joint ventures that I brought together, and I hooked up with each other and I created kind of like the bridge between the two, and people knew them. They didn't know me, but they knew they were good, and that's why they thought that I was good, and it was good. So I signed up 7 clients in over the course of 2 or 3 days, and it was a revenue of $34,000, and it was really, really, for me, mind-boggling, because $34,000 in a couple of days, it was like, wow, the sky's the limit. So here's the lesson. When you're brand new, try to piggyback on somebody else's fame and fortune and take that as a hook and as a bait and see if you can create something of more value. Because that's one of my strengths, I found, that being a maximizer, making more of something, and if that's one of your strengths as well and that resonates with you, look for things that are good already and make them great, make them even better by possibly combining things. And as one of my other coaches always says is look for the good things in one industry and move it to another industry and apply it to your own industry and be creative. And when you have inspirational thoughts and you have a thought and an idea that all of a sudden you don't know where it came from, then look into it. Because a lot of times those are things that are a little bit outside of our scope, and that can be very beneficial. So here's the lesson for today. Be creative, create some joint ventures, piggyback on somebody else's thing, make more of what's there, and see what happens. This is Natalie, Freedom Coach Podcast, episode number 15. I love to hear some comments. Leave me some feedback. If there's anything you want me to cover or go more in detail about, I'll be more than happy to share with you. And until I hear you again, or you hear me, be free.